Hello, punters. Welcome to episode 20 of the Leg Up Australia podcast. Woodhead, Borgie, BJ, fellas, welcome. Milestone event, episode 20. BJ, quickly, give me your highlight of the first 20 episodes.
When Hildo was here, I'd suggest.
Borgie?
Yeah, Hildo, he was pretty good. But there was the Haka story, I reckon.
Oh,
right
okay.
there.
Your highlight was the
I think
story.
it was the
wasn't
only
even
time I
funny.
spoke.
Oh, no. You spoke plenty. Don't worry about that. Your favourite moment was the story that you told. In fact,
I'm my favourite person on the podcast.
Yeah,
by so far as well. It's not even fun.
it's obvious.
There's going to be a spin-off.
It's obvious. I have to tell you, did you guys want to know what mine is?
Yeah,
Oh,
go
just-
ahead.
Tell us about
around
your
the whole podcasting thing. My favourite thing could have just happened. So for anyone that follows our Bet Slip podcast, we give the bankroller bet, which is better than bank interest. What is
Wasn't
bank
this week.
interest actually?
Oh, at the moment it's horrible. About 2%.
Yeah, well, this thing gives you. We're giving you
20%.
20%.
Yeah, we're aiming at 15-20%.
So we give you a bet, and we had punishments lined up for if you lost it. Blake lost last week. Tune into the bet slip to hear what happened, and check out our page to see the video of his punishment. But, fellas, what a weekend of sport.
It's been unbelievable.
I haven't been getting a lot of sleep.
You haven't been getting much
This
sleep.
English summertime sporting extravaganza has been hurting my... And everyone's been telling me, before the baby comes, get as much sleep as you can. And I have not. And the British Open's on this weekend.
You won't be getting much sleep this week either.
No. So,
It's over.
highlight... let's just talk about Sunday's Wimbledon, the Fed versus the Joker. Thoughts? People are saying it's one of the greatest finals.
Yeah, apparently it was the longest final ever played in Wimbledon history.
It was good.
Didn't Federer had a match point? I don't know how I'd deal with that. Like,
Pressure.
no, like missing a match point and then losing the game or losing the match. Like, that'd just play on me for so long.
Forever.
I reckon. Yeah, I
But
really
it's just
feel
a game.
like
It is just a game for them. Like, they get to go back on the court again and play again and get
Yeah.
over it.
Still, having your... What is it? His 19th slam and
yeah,
Wimbledon.
those two in Rafa are just like a league better. Like Andy Murray was there for a little bit.
Yeah,
but-
he was.
And then he hurt his hip. He put
Oh, I
him
got
out
no
with
idea.
something, and like it's like everyone else just played for fourth.
Yeah.
These three play out the best of them, and
They're
I
all
don't
going to
know.
be Hall of Famers.
Yeah, he's
so
been
good.
not already.
They're always just classic matches. But yeah, I didn't watch the Wimbledon final. I watched some highlights afterwards, and I was just like, yeah, these blokes are the best.
Apparently there was a backhand. Return serve backhand by Federer in the game before that they're saying is possibly the greatest tennis shot of all time.
Wow, that's a big rap.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
Greatest tennis shot of all time. Imagine how many tennis shots in the world have been played.
Then a couple.
Yeah. Who... it just pisses you off knowing that the Australian crop of talent is so far away from that.
What
But you
about
know
when
what?
Kyrgios does the under the legs? Wouldn't that be one of the greatest shots?
Close.
That's-
He did underarm to
Top.
Rafa that caught him out, but that's
Top.
tactical.
Also, slam one straight into Rafa's chest.
Yeah.
Did you hear his comment on when they said, do you feel sorry? Like, should you apologise to Rafa? And he said, should I apologise? The bloke's got 17 slams and how many millions in the bank? Why would I apologise to him? I thought, you have just...
You just don't get it.
Would you
don't
apologise to him?
get it.
Well, but I wouldn't apologise, but not for that reason.
Exactly right.
You apologise. You wouldn't apologise because I'm
He
trying
hit
to
him on
beat
purpose, by the
Like,
way.
this
He hit him
is-
on purpose. He said that. He goes, I put him
Yeah.
in the chest.
But
first.
I got no issue with that as well. Like, I got no issue with playing the game in a certain way. It's just he's got no respect.
He doesn't
and he
get
should
it.
have respect. For
I
these
probably
people.
would have
Borgie's right.
apologised after the game,
I
but
would've-
not during the game.
I just
No,
wouldn't have
no.
done it. I wouldn't have done it.
I would have gone for his head.
Well, you're
Yeah.
a bad bloke.
But then I would have apologised after the game and said, "Hey, mate, let's go."
Oh,
So
how
sorry about.
how hollow's that?
you in
Yeah,
the head.
let's go out for a
No, it's
lettuce
okay.
leaf.
That's what you do. You always shake hands after footy. Is that correct? Doesn't
Yep.
even matter if you're niggling and you punch a guy
I've
in the
never
face.
not
and
shaken someone's
You
hand.
shake somebody's hand after the game.
Have you ever had someone not shake your hand?
Oh, heaps.
Yeah.
I've done it
You?
before when I was
Have
younger.
you?
Yeah.
Oh,
But I wouldn't do it
I
these
always,
days.
except those times I don't. Yeah.
You remind me of a young Kyrgios.
A young Kyrgios.
Kyrgios reminds me of a young bloke.
You think so?
Yeah,
No,
possibly.
Just a couple of times, a couple of times I was just very angry and we probably would have lost the game and I would have been like,
And
no,
you were
I'm not
known
shaking
for a bit of a
anyone's
turn.
hand. And then
Oh.
You're a
just,
special for a turn.
Right.
just done a U-turn and gone straight up the sheds.
See, I walked off once and got called out on it. So I just couldn't face anyone because it was like the defeat was because of me. And it's like, you already feel so horrible. And I'm like, you're not even going to shake everyone's hands. Oh, okay, fine. Is that bad?
Yeah, you're a dog.
Does that count?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Well,
good.
then I'm a flog too.
It's good.
What about you, hero?
Me, after all the fishing comps, I just always shake
Shake hands,
Good luck.
stinky hands.
Good. Well done.
What about
Good.
touch?
Well done on the
What
catch.
about
You
when you
touched
hurt
it.
your hand? Did you shake people's hand after that?
I wasn't playing.
Do you play fishing? Is that is that what you do?
You don't play.
do
it's
what you
life or
try.
death.
You play
Do your
like
best.
I used to love that Marlin game. Remember that game?
Yeah,
that
yeah,
time
yeah,
zone.
yeah.
You used to, I think I had a couple of records, caught a couple of sailfishes.
Oh, really quickly on video games, we were talking about this earlier. Madden released Madden, what is it, 20? 19,
Madden
20,
20.
Madden 20, yeah.
Yeah. And so Madden is the second highest grossing video game.
What's the highest grossing? FIFA.
Of course,
FIFA,
FIFA.
surely.
FIFA's
I thought-
huge.
Is 2K up there, like NBA 2K?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. This is what people
You just
write.
made
You
that
don't know
stat
what
up,
it-
so don't question it.
Yeah, I think they sold maybe 1 billion copies last year. But they released 4 players with a 99 overall rating, and they posted it up, like, put it all over they did like a big graffiti art thing in LA, etc., because Aaron Donald's there, so LA. And then they had certain NFL players coming out on their social medias bagging Madden, saying, they rated me 89 on my medium route running. F you, Madden. I won't be playing that shit. Blah, blah, blah. Really having a turn. So,
That's fair enough, though.
you know what I saw today? World Cup Cricket 2019 on Xbox. And I thought, I didn't watch Wimbledon. I enjoyed the cricket. That was... Did you guys watch it?
The cricket?
You know what happened?
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, I know.
Did you make a cup
What
of
a
tea and
way to
watch
win
it?
and lose.
Mate, no, I didn't make a cup of tea and watch it. I just watched the highlights. I didn't watch any of this World Cup. I told you that. I'm not into the World Cup.
I got into it late. I said that to you, Borgie. I'm disappointed that I got into it late.
Yeah, it's probably about as exciting. I reckon anyway. It's probably a good format for a World Cup. Like you couldn't do a Test World Cup.
No,
sure,
no.
that'd
This
be-
is the way. One day is back.
2020 is
Nah,
the way.
one day is back, bro.
It's back.
You should have seen these games in the atmosphere. So I think because it was such a good World Cup, it's actually not a bad way of ending the World Cup final, the way it ended.
no
Tie and super, and then,
on boundaries.
yeah, they got to figure something
That's disgusting.
out. Well, okay, what would you do instead?
Just ball
Keep
by
going.
ball.
One more
Each,
boundary.
keep going over for over.
Like golf. That's what they do in golf.
No, no,
Tied,
different
they
game.
just sudden death. Yeah, it is a different game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
golf
gathered
and
that.
cricket.
But yeah, like I wouldn't probably do ball to ball. I'd go over.
Yeah, over and over, yeah.
Yeah,
Over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd
but-
be mine.
But then
approach.
once you get past like
But you can't
2
keep
overs,
bringing
it
the-
could be ball to ball. Imagine that. That'd be so good.
And how do you keep bringing the batting side in and the...
Just keep.
But it's a spectacle. Wouldn't you love it if you were in the crowd?
You've been
It'd
there
be
for a
awesome.
long time.
Yeah. But not as long as the. Oh, you have been there as long
Yeah,
as the
yeah,
tennis, yeah. Anyway,
It wouldn't take that long. You'd have a crack at it, and if you lose a wicket, and then the next person just doesn't have to get out, you know.
I reckon you just put...
Very
Your
good.
wicket keeper's already got the pads on. Your wicket keeper goes into bat. You bowl to the wicket.
oh,
He
like
tries to hit,
soccer,
that's your over.
where you get to the keepers on the keepers.
Yep. So the wicket keeper is the only one that can bat in the golden thing, and that
Oh.
brings them into play. What
Well,
do you
that'd
think
be
of
all right for Australia. A couple of years ago, we had Adam Gilchrist.
that? Carey's very good. Our keeper now, very good. Did you see him?
Also, we didn't make the final, but had we made the final with Gilchrist still playing,
Correct. But
and that rule was
We would've-
implemented.
We would have won a World
Lot
Cup
of-
with
lot of
Gilchrist as
hypotheticals.
keeper, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we did.
I reckon
Oh, I got no idea.
What do
Oh, I'm taking a wild stab, but surely we did. That was a
we
magical
definitely
team.
did. Super over. Do they?
Yep.
Do they remove a player from the fielding team?
No.
Well, that's what they should do.
Oh.
You should keep playing overs
And
and
drop
then
a player
drop
every
a player
game.
every over, like from the
But
fielding
it's
team.
just got to be. It's just got to be
Yeah.
5 overs and then 5 overs the other side.
No, 1 over. Drop a player.
Drop a player, then get the other team out.
Yeah.
They've got to drop a player.
That's it.
This is
Wow. We're inception.
this has turned into an absolute mess.
A mess.
Or have we figured
We've
it out?
figured it
No,
out.
I'm
We've
sticking-
saved world cricket.
I'm sticking with my idea of the wicket keepers because they've got the pads on. They just have to
They're not
turn.
the same pads.
Yeah, they're
Keeping
different
pads
pads.
are not the same as batting
They're
pads.
so similar.
What we have all agreed on is what the whole world's agreed on. The way that finished shouldn't have finished like that.
But you know what? It kind of got
Except for
overlooked
England.
because
England
how
won.
good that game was.
yeah, probably right.
I thought that I don't know if I ended up having a bet, but I thought England were going to do the Black Caps in on Sunday, but they were so strong. And that
Stokesy.
Stokes.
He's NZ board.
He's born in Christchurch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
Wasn't the English
sabotaged
captain
them.
like Irish?
Oh, there's,
South African, you
Oh.
Kevin Peterson.
there's plenty of them that are born
Does
in.
he still play, Kevin Peterson?
Yeah, but not for the country. But he played for England, and then he interviewed him, and he was full South African.
Kevin
Wild.
Peterson, he fell out of favour there for a little while, didn't he?
Something happened.
And he was out of the
KP.
team.
I think he actually released. Someone write in if I'm wrong. I think he wrote a book, and there was a few kind of secrets
Dressing room
revealed.
talk,
Yeah,
yeah.
because the book deal is big in the UK.
Yeah, okay.
Big,
So
big, big at
the-
the end of the season.
The super cool thing about this is, like, tying it back in with the Wimbledon, is they were like a couple of miles away in the British system. Like, the Wimbledon was going on not far from the Cricket World Cup.
Yeah, that was a
Final.
fill up.
Can
for
you
the Pommies.
imagine? Just
Oh, imagine how cool that
let me
would've
just
been.
give you a English summer sporting trip.
Shirts off, it's 25 degrees.
Let's get red.
Yeah, yeah.
Royal Ascot. Straight
Ascot.
into the early games of the World Cup cricket.
3-piece suit,
Yeah,
top
tops
hat,
and tails.
all up.
Tops and
cricket.
tails. I want to go next year.
Yeah.
So-
well, we can go.
Your missus is about
Go,
to
give us
fall
a
in any
sponsorship.
second.
We need a sponsorship. And
I
then
got
we
an
can go.
invite to Hong Kong International 2 days ago. I'm like, can we take a 4-month-old to Hong Kong?
Of course you bloody can.
Thanks, Blake. So, Ascot into early World Cup cricket games, into Wimbledon, into the Open, so the golf, into... There was one other thing. No, F1 into golf.
You ever done a holiday that's just purely you're travelling for sports?
Drop the motorsport.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
with
drive
you.
Motorsport.
BJ,
no,
you ever
I
gone on
haven't.
holiday just to do some sports?
I've been to the Cox Plate.
It doesn't. Oh, I was there too. What about you?
No, my dream is to do the American college or the college games. What about you? What?
New Zealand.
What did you do?
Went to fish.
Well, that
Just
would have
went to
been
fish.
that would have been
I thought
fun.
we said sport.
What? You
Bloody
didn't.
crap.
You
That
didn't
would
go
have
to
been-
watch fishing.
You went
did
to watch a
You
fishing
went to
Tom?
fishing? No, I went.
Oh, do you
just to
mean
fish.
did you travel
I
overseas
travelled
to play
overseas
sport?
just to fish?
Yeah, I have.
You've
I
travelled
went
for
to
some-
Oh,
London
you went there.
and
Yeah, that
played
was
footy,
part
and I
of-
went to
yeah, I
Japan
guess
and
so.
played footy.
Yeah,
So I was lucky
Unfortunately,
enough.
unfortunately, the travel opportunities in AFL aren't great.
yeah. When they go, oh, they
I
go
played.
to
I
Ireland.
played against Ireland and I played
Oh.
against Papua New Guinea.
That's good.
Got sent off against Ireland.
Did they play AFL?
They
They
play
play- did you
football.
play Gaelic?
We played international, so it's a mix between two.
Oh, yeah.
And I got into a fight with the bloke. This is the best. This is the Irish people to a T. We got into a fight. We both got sent off, and then went. And you just get sent off like, oh gosh. Then we got to the sideline. And he goes, "You want to keep going?" I'm like, "Oh, no.
Have a
Usually
beer."
we just go off, and then we started having a fight on the sideline. That
And
was
did
just
you
it.
win?
That was his thing. No, I don't think so.
Do you
I don't
remember when
think so.
Yeah. Brett Stewart.
Oh, that was the best.
It was like that. It was like that. Like he just was like, "Come on, this isn't finished. Just because we get sent up, this isn't finished."
Come
I'm
on, you
like,
dog.
yeah, and I'm like, "Yeah, it is. I just go over there. You go to that bit. You go to your bench. I'll go to my bench, and then like we just.
Yeah,
I think we
catch
just
up
come
later.
like because it was a hybrid game. I'm like, bro, I think we just come back on in 10 minutes. He's like, nah, not having it. I'm like, all right, let's fight.
Did
And
you have
then-
beer with him after the game?
Yeah, we did.
Good on you.
We did.
Yeah,
we were
that's
11.
all right. That's like
but
shaking
no.
hands after the game.
Yeah, it is. No, it was. We were older and we had a beer, but yeah, it was. I remember that Irish.
Did you get the better of him?
On the field, I'd not in the fight.
On the streets.
The
It's hard to beat up
on
an
the
Irishman, I'd
sideline. And
suggest.
yeah, he was just.
Tough.
I think he came in he was having a fight with anyone.
Anyone,
Just-
just you.
he
the
wasn't.
wounded
He
fish.
wasn't. He wasn't the other ruckman or centre forward either. He was.
Oh, he was a
Oh.
short fella.
Yeah.
Part leprechaun.
And I think he told. If
Who
I
keep you
remember
punching
correctly, I think he told me.
Ah,
Little
the Irish,
bloke.
they're fiery.
They
My
they
missus
got
is
me.
Irish.
They go. Yeah.
Shout out to my missus.
Shout out
Yeah.
the O'Neills.
Proper Irish.
Do you think
Proper
she'd beat you
Irish.
up in a
Oh,
fight?
I don't have to
Oh,
think about it.
Of course she would.
she would.
Of course she would.
100%. So, huge talking point in the AFL and the NRL this week. The coaching merry-go-round continues. We lost 2 more head coaches across our codes this weekend, or this week. Garth Brennan on Sunday,
Gone.
the Titans head coach. And yesterday, Alan Richardson, who is the head coach for St Kilda, he resigned. He
Is this like one of those things where a pirate gets you to walk the plank with a gun and then you go, you know what, I'm jumping off?
yeah, I'm doing this.
Yeah, you know what, I'm doing this on my own terms.
He was the ultimatum was if he doesn't make finals this year, he goes. Now they won like 4 or 5 games last year, so for him to come out and win, you're probably going to need to win 12 or so to make finals. I don't think that's very fair. Anyway, so he's decided that is the 3rd coach this year in the AFL
3 coaches. That's a lot.
in 17 rounds. We lost the first one, I think. We had in succession. I think we had round 10 or just after round 10.
Yeah, round 10.
We lost Brad Scott from
Brad
North
Scott,
Melbourne,
Yeah, the Kangaroos.
Kangaroos coach. And then I think like a week or 2 after, Brendan Bolton from Carlton.
Yeah, Brendan Bolton from Carlton. Gone. Did you know that, I read this today, that the Western Bulldogs have ended up playing 2 out of the 3
They're going to
coaches
play him
the
again
following week.
this weekend.
And the other one they played 2 weeks after.
Yep.
Wow.
So they've run into... They've
Western
gotten
Bulldogs
unlucky.
keep running
Western
into no
Bulldogs.
coaches.
Yeah, so stay tuned for the bet slip.
Oh, I really don't like this. Hey,
Okay.
and the same thing happened. Like Garth Brennan's gone. The Titans have this system similar to the Panthers did with Gus, where they have a I don't know what they call it.
Managing
Mentor?
director.
The mentor or head of a coaching manager,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
head of
Gus was
coaching.
head of football. Or
Yeah,
head of
something like
football. That was his
director or
title.
head of
But Mal
football.
Meninga has a similar title
Same thing,
at
yeah.
the Titans.
I did not know that.
So they reckon that it's it's a bit of a Bermuda Triangle. It's a bit of a cursed job as it is, because you're coming in, you want to, you're a coach. You should be able to say, well, this is, I've got my coaching stuff. This is how I want to do things to get this team, going better. But you got to answer to someone. You should really be. I think that they should be subordinate to like the board of directors, or they should answer to the board of directors, not to someone else who then is between them and the board of directors. It's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
And I don't like it. And I think the coaches just get made the scapegoats. Like, they're not-
100%.
Like, have a go at the blokes on the team. Like, if any of them are playing up,
Hold
like,
fire on that, because
get-
I want you to get into that.
filthy.
Let me just get back to your head of football.
Sorry.
Your first point.
Yeah.
Is this common at the NRL clubs?
It
I
it doesn't
didn't
seem
know
the case.
all about it until only this year with Gus and Mal Meninga. But apparently Wayne Bennett was gonna do that sort of role at Broncos. That was part of the discussions.
Yeah,
Apparently,
okay.
I think when he was leaving, I'm not quite sure. So I don't know how many of them have it, how public it is, or whatever. But yeah, it's the first I've really heard of it this year. I thought that the coach was the coach. He was the head honcho, but
Yeah, I
some
don't know.
cases
I
it's
think
not the-
Gus's role sort of at Penrith was to like organise. He had multiple roles. Like he had
Oh.
to get the
He had a lot
the
to do with
Penrith
recruitment
Leagues club
as well.
in order. He had to get
yeah, he did a very good job of that too.
He had to get all like the junior sides like working together and
Yeah.
get them more funding.
But-
yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah,
like 100%.
definitely.
But it shouldn't. The head coach shouldn't be subject to him. I'd suggest.
So
I
Collingwood
agree.
Collingwood did this in the AFL. And so Mick Malthouse,
Mm.
who was a champion premiership coach, had Nathan Buckley for a 2-year apprenticeship. So he would teach Nathan Buckley essentially how to coach, which, however that's going to sit, because you're training the person that's eventually going to take your job. But then they promised him this head of football role.
To Malthouse?
Yep. So he would then elevate to this other role and oversee Nathan Buckley for a further 2 years. Nathan Buckley's head coach and the other assistant coaches. Now, it lasted... Didn't get the full season out of the way because of exactly what you were saying.
Well,
Buckley was... I don't know whose fault it is, and... whatever it is, if the head of coaching or the head of the football director's having his say too much, or the coach doesn't want him to, but how would you do that?
Yeah, the model just doesn't look like it worked to me.
No
like
way.
A head coach has to have some sort of flair. I don't know if they have to be particular opinionated,
Yep.
but they have to be bringing something that probably not, it's a bit different, it's a bit
Yep.
unique, but at the same time they've got someone else who's got a different opinion as their boss.
Yep.
Who used to do the job, but even with that, like it just seems like it's set up to fail.
Yeah,
Well, it did in the AFL. So you're right.
It seems to be failing in the NRL as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't think you can have somebody. You can have the coach needs to be subordinate to someone and needs to answer to someone, but you can't have somebody else putting their piece into the pie, especially in the football team. It's the head coach's job to coach the football side,
Yeah.
and if they're not getting the results, you've employed somebody to do the job. If you're not getting the results, that's okay. You can be questioned by somebody.
Yep.
But you can't have somebody when you've been employed to do a job, you can't have somebody micromanaging you and putting their piece into your job. It's basically the definition of micromanaging, right?
Mm.
And how does that look to the players? If any whisper of questioning against the head coach, that starts the rot.
Yeah. The coach has to. I feel that the head coach has to be in full control. That's it.
Totally
No
agree.
questions asked.
I agree.
And it makes them look like some type of puppeteering as well. Like
Yeah.
if they're sort of just...
And I'm sure it'd go both
Pulling the
ways
string.
too. Like, do you know what I mean? If you're in that Ivan Cleary position and Gus is, you got Gus there. If you've got to make a hard call, or sorry mate, you're not playing this week, you could almost be like, oh well, Gus,
Gus,
You play mummy against daddy.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like it's going to work both ways, and I just don't think it's a good situation. And evidently, we've got Titans, Panthers, and it didn't work at Collingwood. But yeah, both of those didn't work. Garth Brennan's now gone.
Yeah.
Gus went in the Panthers situation.
Panthers
Kind
are
of three of them
flying
didn't
now.
win.
Panthers are flying. Yeah, that's right. And but whether that's related on it, who
Hey.
knows? But the Titans will get a coach in that will be under Mal Meninga, and they're saying last chance.
So Mal
For-
is looking after the team at the
He's
moment.
caretaker.
Mal-
He's always in that position. He's in that Gus Gould type position. So whoever comes in as a coach, and there's lots of talk about that, about who's going to be. Is it going to be the Walker brothers? Is it going to be Jeff Tuvey? Is it going to be someone else? They will answer to Mal Meninga.
Yeah, but
I
at the moment, is Mal pulling the
Oh
strings?
no,
Like, is
Luke Burt, and remember Luke Burt from
it, yeah,
Para?
Luke Bird, he was a
and
good player.
I remember him, yeah.
Was it Craig Hodges?
and
the,
Craig Hodges.
He's
the
the
two of them.
current second in charge.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, it's Hodges and Burt at the moment are the caretaker coaches.
Okay, Meninga's the big boss.
Meninga's the big boss.
Okay, and we're gonna we might see Tuvey.
Yeah, that's what they reckon. They reckon Tuvey's
Kevy was the...
right up there. No, Kevy's committed
declined
to Maroons next year because he's still contracted to Maroons 2020.
Right, that's okay.
He doesn't want the job.
Doesn't want the job apparently.
He wants to coach your boys.
To a series
Losers.
Yeah, to a 3 in a row New South Wales.
Yeah, go the Blues.
Yeah, I know. This guy.
Is it hollow knowing
turnstile.
that like you two are things? You I'll cop your, jibes. You,
He just chops and changes.
whoever he wants.
Whatever he wants. Whatever.
Go
What
to
about,
Blues.
what about the Walker brothers? They were
Yeah.
pretty close to getting the job last time.
Yeah, they reckon so.
Okay, so they're back in the mix.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
So two of
I
them are
reckon
going to
that's-
coach the team.
Well, that's how they've coached
Two brothers,
the
yeah.
Ipswich Jets.
Is it the
Quite
Jets?
Relatively successfully, yeah.
Ben Walker used to play for Manly.
Yeah.
Used to play
they
for the Northern
they
Eagles.
played it, and he did a bit of chop and change in Ben Walker, didn't he?
Ben
and
There
Shane.
was 3 of them, wasn't
and
there?
then Chris.
There is Shane.
Chris Walker played for 100 teams. I reckon he played for every team.
Yeah,
in the NRL.
yeah, I think he did too.
He was
Good
a
coaches.
gun
Yeah,
at
he
one
was good.
stage.
He was good.
When he was at the
Walker's on.
Broncos.
He was at the Broncos.
Walker's on.
I reckon
Yeah,
he played
that's,
for Melbourne. He played for Souths. I think he played for Melbourne.
he was
played
good
for-
at Brisbane. He was good at
Yeah,
Brisbane.
he was good. He was
I'm not
good.
sure if he was good at Melbourne. He was. I think South might have signed him on a big contract or something like that. But
Maybe. Well, and touching on that. So, and I know we're chopping and changing a little bit here.
I just got his teams though who he played for.
Oh, who'd Chris Walker play for?
Queensland, so that's
Okay.
represented nationally. Then Broncos, Rabbitohs, Roosters, Storm, Titans, and Para.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Nearly half the.
And the
NRL.
Cattle and Dragons.
Well, why not?
He stuck to one. He was a one club
Walks
man
Really, like an
over in
Johns.
the French league.
So there's a couple of things back on the NRL side of this about this. So firstly, the Titans are apparently getting told like sharpen up or this is it.
well, they're not getting anyone to their games.
Well, we look around the table and that's a little bit disappointing
I
from
live
us.
1 minute from
Yeah,
there,
you
and
can
I
see
haven't been to
you
a
can
game.
see the stadium.
See-
They're not getting people to the games. They're
What a terrible
not getting a
Titans
result.
supporter.
They've got a team full of people that are getting, in my opinion, grossly overpaid.
Gross overs, yeah.
Gross overs and performing horribly.
Nowhere
none
near
of
that
them,
paycheck.
none of them are getting questioned. Maybe on social media now, but Garth Brennan's got the boot. I think give him the boot if he put together this roster, maybe.
Yep, he adopted this.
But yeah, it just stinks like scapegoat situation to me.
You have to. Somebody has to go though, and it always is the head coach. It's
But
his
it's
responsibility.
that's what Boogie's saying. That can't be it every single time. And apparently, the one thing that, like the top of the resume for Garth Brennan was his man management. How good he was with his players, and apparently his players were so loyal to him.
Well, you know that through his process, he didn't actually even interview with Walker in that. He was like this parachute in last minute,
because he was.
but it just come out of nowhere.
Because they didn't.
He
want
was
to
at
pay anyone.
Penrith, wasn't he? I'm sure he was Penrith.
He might have been at Penrith.
He was at Penrith
I
for a
can't remember.
while. He was at Penrith for a while, and I think Matty Johns threw
Matty
his
Johns
name up,
was a big...
and
condoner.
Gus was the other.
Yeah, okay. Maybe Gus wanted him out.
Gus was on the way. He knew he only had a year left. He's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
I know,
just...
I know."
I really feel like, he gets the raw end of the stick with that, particularly with these players that are getting grossly overpaid, and there's this talk of a bit of a, ordinary culture up here.
The culture's his responsibility, though, right? It is.
To a
Yeah,
certain
in part,
extent,
yeah.
but
It
you
all
know,
flows down from the
yeah,
top.
but he's not the top.
He's
and this goes
close
back to
enough
what
to the top.
No, but this goes back to what Borgie says. Was saying before, the culture. When you got a bad culture at a club, it starts with the tiniest little bit of toxicity, or a questioning of a decision, or someone being dropped. That's what starts that toxic culture, and that's what I said to you before. That tiny little bit of rot. It's a very good chance that came from what you were talking about before. It just gives you more opportunity if there's a head coach and there's a football director and there's a differing opinion. But like I said, Brennan's absolute wheelhouse was man management. So how do you lose the team?
Yeah, I don't know. But I see the culture as a little bit different. I see that it coming more from the players. Like if the players are going to show up and have a crack and show up to training every week compared to, I'm on the Gold Coast, bit of a, going to enjoy myself a bit. They reckon that Jared Hayne, whether it's coincidental or not, but that point where he came into the team, it was almost like it flicked a switch and it all sort of took a dive from there.
Well, Henry got sacked. Neil Henry got sacked over him.
Over
Yeah.
Hayne,
Yeah.
They got into a dispute.
And they
or
reckon
something
Neil
like that.
Henry was they hold him in the highest regard as a coach.
But you know yourself, like both of you played footy and stuff like that.
Loosely to me. Don't look at me like...
You want to play for
I was a
the
loose
the
player.
blokes. You like if you get on well with your coach, you're more likely to put your body on the line. If you're not getting on well with your coach,
You got to have the team. 100%. You got to have the team.
So he
As a
must
coach, you
have
have to-
had the team.
That's
I know
what I'm
you're
saying. I
that.
agree.
He must
Yeah,
have had the team.
Yeah,
They're not
if they-
tackling.
I didn't know about the culture thing.
Too many
I just
egos.
know. But who? Like who?
Ash Taylor,
But he like
Peachy, Cartwright.
Do something.
I think they just look too lax about stuff. Like, you want You want a team full of Jairos. Like
Jairo is a
crack.
good player. Yeah,
Bloody
of
oath.
course.
Having a crack, like, it just looks like the effort is not there for a lot of these players.
We should interview for the job 3-way coaches.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to coach a football team.
Oh, so would I.
You-
You were going to coach or do the leg up.
Yeah,
Remember that?
I was either going to go and to
You
become
made
a
the wrong
ruck coach.
decision.
I could be over there at the Burleigh Bombers
You could
teaching the lonely ruckman how to jump and
You
tap.
could be
and
interviewing for the job.
run
in
your
the
centre.
Titans.
Yeah, look, that'd be a tainted job. It'd be very hard to turn that
Oh,
around.
it's going to be so
So-
tough.
So,
And if that doesn't work out,
go back to
Ooh.
this. So there's questions against the Titans. So are they NRL owned?
I don't know. No, they're
No,
not
the
NRL
Frizzell's-
owned. They'll be,
Frizzell's own it,
Frizzell's
yeah.
owned, but they have a license through the NRL, and they're talking about that. There's been talk around since David Gallup days about this second Brisbane team. It's what South East Queensland want. Apparently, rugby league's huge here, and they only have South East Queensland. Oh, sorry, they only have the Brisbane team for a long while, and Gold Coast teams come in and out a little bit. They're talking, let's get rid of them. If the people aren't rocking up and the teams aren't getting a result and everything's just a little bit blasé, then piss them off. And separately to that, even if they do or don't, they're still banging on. They reckon the expansion is being looked into, and the first thing that happened was a second Brisbane team.
Can I ask, when Manly, what weekend did you stalk Daly Cherry Evans?
That was
Two
two
against
and a bit
ago.
weeks
So Manly
ago.
was up here playing. Did you go to the game?
I didn't go there.
Why did you not go to the game?
Because I was working, and I missed the first half because I saw him there in the morning. So
Okay.
I would have went to the game 100% because I have been waiting for one of our teams to get here.
Yeah,
You're
and
away.
I would have gone
You're
to the
away.
Panthers. I had
So-
to fly to Sydney.
Have you guys been to Seabus?
No,
I haven't
never.
been yet.
No. It is soulless. It is a boring cement stadium.
We need to go there.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah,
a
I
bit
was
of
gonna
life.
say.
I've
What
been
advertising?
there. I've been there. I even went there around the Olympics. Remember when the
Com
Gold
Games?
Coast had the Olympics?
Never.
Around the Com Games. Same thing. It's a boring stadium. It's beautiful, like the turf, like someone that, to watch football and play sport on, it's actually great to watch at. But, Metricon, their stadium's great. They didn't overdo, there's a quarter of the stadiums where it's just open and they can fill it in. But Gold Coast Suns realised the same thing and started bringing in food trucks. So you would go and watch your team play because it's easy to park and things like that. The C-Bus, it's not appealing to me.
Yeah, you've got to make it easy. You've got to make it affordable. You've got to
Kids.
get rid of the excuses for people not to go to games.
Kids are the key. You need to have stuff. So they should be like, those odd 4 or 5 o'clock games? Yeah, that's what they should be. They should never be a Sunday afternoon game, a Titans game or a Suns game, because you want people from interstate coming up here for the weekend. They got to fly home Sunday arvo. So don't make them Sunday games. Make them
Monday
Saturday
nights.
afternoon.
Bring
Monday
back the
nights.
Monday night into our
Just the Titans.
Yeah, just
I
games
used to
and the
actually
Suns
love
games.
Monday night.
So did I. We used to go to there used to be a local pub that used to do, I want to say $5 Bundy rum schooners. Do you remember the Bull and Bush?
Yeah, I remember the
yeah.
Bull Bush.
What a pub.
What a place.
But yeah, so this is not great news for Gold Coast football because the Titans are starting to be questioned, and this has failed on a few occasions. So obviously the what was
Crushers
it? The
and
Crushers,
Seagulls.
the
And they had some
Seagulls.
big
They're
names
four
too.
teams.
Wally Lewis played.
This is the 4th team on the Gold Coast. Do you know that?
Who was the other one?
There was the Giants, the Seagulls, Chargers.
Oh,
and then
Chargers.
the
We keep saying
Titans.
Crushers, sorry.
Chargers. Sorry,
Chargers.
yeah,
They had
no,
the
you're
train
right.
with the goal. It's a horrible thing. I don't remember the first one.
Don't you remember the Chargers? The old jade black, purple, and golds. Into them, boys.
The Giants were before our time, though.
Yeah.
They
See,
were in
Wally
the
Lewis
80s.
played
I
for
don't know who
Gold
the-
Coast,
Yes.
Yeah, I remember. That
Fuck.
was
That would have been the
played for
Chargers.
the Seagulls, I
Seagulls.
reckon. He would have been the big signing.
Oh, huge signing.
Do you reckon there's more atmosphere at our touch games on Monday nights than
No,
a Titans
there's
game?
not.
It'd be similar.
The
But we'll
crowd,
get out there.
the crowd goes berserk sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not
I
sure
just-
what game you're playing.
so-
at, but
Why I'm saying Gold Coast football is the Suns are in. Like,
Diabolical.
they've just had two, 90 and 86-point thrashings, which you don't do for a team. Like, there was Adelaide came up here, pumped the Suns by 80 or 90 points, and the head coach came.
I could have altered that. Remember that?
What?
I called you on one of those days. I saw.
Yeah, you were going to go.
Mm.
You didn't end up popping out and seeing the
Nah.
Sunnies at their best.
I saw the Adelaide Crows.
Oh, that's right.
Pre-game.
That's right.
And what were you going to do?
Pre-game. I was in my car.
You're going to trip them or run them
He
down?
was in the car. I said, they're paying like $4.70, the Titans.
down.
The Suns.
Run them down with your
Get rid of
car,
them.
the Ranger.
I didn't.
You didn't
Um,
run,
the right
you
thing
run
to
them
do.
down.
Not do that.
No, fair enough.
Well,
Thank you.
It
But-
feeds into itself too. It's not good. Like if the Suns finish last and the Titans finish last, do you know what I mean? It's just gonna
It's a Quinella.
add a little bit of
It's
fuel to the fire, I reckon.
is
Get rid of them.
what the AFL won't give up on the Gold Coast. They'll pour. This has been a $300 million investment by the AFL.
What's going on with the Gold Coast?
The crowds don't go to the games.
Yeah, there's too much other cool stuff to do up
Well,
here.
it's a day
what
place
cool
here. You
stuff
go out
is
during the
to
day.
do?
Oh, you don't like it here? Far out. It's hard to gauge this bloke. Oh, I got to work. Okay. What if you weren't working?
No, what about his leg up thing this
Surfing.
morning? Picture of the ocean. Getting ready for a day of punting
That's-
by frolicking in the
Should have
surf.
thrown your money in the surf.
Far out. Should
Might as well.
have held your head under.
Might as well have.
Drowning's also not
You had a
funny.
great day. It was a tough day today on the punt, but we'll go through that in the bet slip. Sorry.
There's bounce
But
back. There's the bounce back effect.
Why don't Gold Coast residents, and that's us now, why don't they support football teams?
For me,
Yeah,
I'm not going out to the Titans games. Because I'm loving the other stuff that the Gold Coast has to offer.
Maybe they didn't. Maybe it's because we didn't grow up with the teams as well.
Maybe, but no
No,
one's
I
grown
think,
up
but no
here
one has.
either.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
Everyone's
saying.
blowing
That's
the
why
Gold Coast.
nobody
And this-
goes
There's
to
none
the
of this
game.
pride.
what they need to
feeling
do
here.
is they need to make the Suns and the Titans
One
everyone's
team.
second. I like that idea though. They need to make it everyone's second team.
Yeah.
You know, like when I moved up here, I was born up here and then moved back here 3 years ago. But I didn't realise how many of my friends from Sydney actually used to come up here a lot for their holidays.
Mm.
So many people holiday on the Gold Coast. And I know that the football's not your number one thing to do, but like make it that they didn't put it into clubs that had history. So if it was me, how I would fix it is, I don't know if it can be fixed now, but the Gold Coast Titans should have been the Burleigh Bears. So they should have turned the Burleigh Bears should have turned into the Gold Coast Bears.
Yeah, there should have been an upgrade of a
The
local
Gold
team.
Coast
Yeah, I agree.
Suns should have been the Southport Sharks. So they should have been the Gold Coast Sharks. They've got big followings. They've got big history. You know, they've got 40, 50 years worth of club,
Yeah.
membership.
You've already got people that are already on board.
You've got
and then you're gonna get more.
we've gone and built Metricon Stadium and Seabus Stadium. I don't know if that was already there, but I'm just saying that these stadiums that we think we're going to fill, but we've got fantastic, like the Burleigh Bears ground is a local club. Like get them out there. Put 2 stands on the end like they did out at Concord. Put
Or
people in there.
Penrith.
Like exactly
Damn.
right.
Or Manly.
Same.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Southport Sharks?
Sharks, yeah.
You got the club there, which actually you can sit in the club, sinking beers on the glass, watching the game. Like they mucked it up from the beginning. So
Yeah.
I don't know how
They had half a job sitting there waiting, and they started from scratch.
exactly
Yeah,
right.
because they could have made max capacity 15,000 at Burleigh. and then
Absolutely, they're
filled
not
it
getting
up.
that.
Yeah.
They're not getting that at the C bus.
And you know what will happen in the NRL?
Yep.
Whether Titans stay or go, but let's say they stay, okay? And then the NRL expands and they take this Southeast Queensland, they'll take another Brisbane team. The teams that come up, like a Redcliffe Dolphins or there's that Wynnum Manly team, Ipswich Jets, whoever they bring up, will instantly have a bigger following than Titans.
So-
and it'll end up, if they're not out by then,
Yeah.
it'll end up putting the pressure back on them again because someone will just come up.
yeah,
They might have some success, they might not, but they'll already have a loyal fan base.
That's the thing. You don't have to change anything. You
Yeah.
just put in a club above Q Cup.
Hmm.
That's it. You've still got your burly players that are the guns and that,
just a
and you can
promotion.
feed from
That's all
them.
it
Like, you know, like, yeah, they mucked it up big time. And I said this to you, I think I've said this before, how they should have done it with the AFL, and I ran this through very, very early in the piece that they should have gone off the back of the Gold Coast, the Southport Sharks, because like there's a club there. It's bigger than it'd be bigger than Wenty.
Yeah, we're trying to. They tried to reinvent the wheel, maybe.
They should have made
Anyway.
every child in the Gold Coast
I remember.
a Suns or a
Yeah, free
Titans
membership.
supporter.
Yeah, but like
100%.
through the schools,
Do the Penrith stuff as well. Like the halftime came in for free.
they should
the
just be
games.
doing it straight through the schools.
Yeah,
Just
they-
here,
they-
each
yeah.
kid in
Give
year
them all a
5 and
jersey.
6.
Dollar
Boom.
mine account.
Yeah, you get
Titan
a
supporter.
Titan thing.
No, we've rated the account. You've bought a jersey, but
You can't give them
Either
each
one.
jerseys, but footies, like,
Footies, yeah, give them footies, give them something.
yeah, I don't know.
Make
You
them
know.
how long ago did the Titans come into the comp? 6 years ago?
nah, more
No,
than that.
longer.
10 years ago?
Probably, yeah.
All those 8-year-olds or 18-year-olds, and they're going the games
Yeah.
by now.
That's it.
Yeah, it just, to
They
me,
probably
I
it's,
think they
marketed it
almost
wrong.
made the finals their first year.
yeah, they did
Yeah,
the
because they
second
had
year as well.
they had the bloke from
Preston Campbell, they had
Stoke Cambo.
Preston Campbell. They
they
had
had
Scott Prince.
Scott Prince.
Yeah, Princey.
Yeah.
Prince, he broke his leg at the Broncos, but then he came and killed him at the Titans. Let's go back
Anyway.
to those days.
Any of our Gold Coast listeners, this is to all of us. I think we should try and make a commitment, go to more games.
Go
Like,
to more
just-
games,
No,
you lazy bastards.
you didn't go to, I'm talking about us as well.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, I'm not going.
I'll go.
You won't go.
I'll go. I live
Blake
close.
would live
Yeah.
600
I'll go to
metres
one.
from...
They closed my
What do
street.
you got? What do you
Get me
got?
a weekend.
Yeah.
Get me a weekend where I'm not fishing because, like, get the weather ordinary, and I'll go to the game.
This is not our responsibility.
No, I'm just saying.
you
Find
should...
one.
Just make the weather ordinary.
I
and
can't
he'll
go. This weekend the weather's really
The
good.
weather's
actually,
been
so I'm-
shit house the last month.
No,
and
but
you haven't
I-
gone.
I didn't make that commitment. I'm
Let's
gonna
just
jump
have a
in my
look. The
DeLorean.
Suns, the Suns are playing away, I believe. The Titans are playing... Oh, yeah, the Storm here.
We won't go to that
I'm not
one.
going to go.
Next week.
You wanna
What's
see
going
a
on next
win.
week?
You want to see a win. All right, well, look. we're
Titans
all-
are playing the Broncos next week.
down here,
Yeah, on Saturday night at 5:30 p.m.
I might...
That could be us.
That could be us.
That could be us, Borgie.
What was that one?
Saturday night.
Next Saturday,
Broncos Titans. Let's go. Let's do it.
5:30 p.m.
Sorry.
Ah,
We'll go.
we'll go.
Maybe. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break. We'll get back to you. Thank you for your input on that one, boys. We'll just refill these beers and we'll be back in a sec.
Let's do it.
All right, we are back. Thanks for sticking around. Well, it would have only been like 1 minute in your ears or 5
Literally a
seconds.
clap.
But yes, we've refilled. We're ready to go. Hey, we've just had some hot off the press news, which
Breaking.
it won't be when this comes out. Borgie?
No, go for it. You got the thing in front of you.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. That sounded rude. I didn't mean that to be rude. Josh Reynolds. Tigers. He's struggled. I don't know how many games he's played for the Tigers this year because Benji sort of just keeps slotting back into that number 6
Yeah,
position.
Benji sort of got that spot at the start of the year.
Mm.
Josh Reynolds hasn't really been able to get back into
Yeah,
it.
he
did
plays
get that
and
couple
he
of
has
weeks.
cracking games.
He can do it a couple of wins, like in a row.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
he was good.
Got
and
injured
then
again.
As soon as Benji's good again, he gets the boot.
He's just been a bit stiff. I like him as a player.
I'm
his
on the
will.
fence.
He's got a will to win. He
Oh,
likes
yeah.
winning.
He would hate being on the sideline for most of the season.
I
I'll tell
love
you
him.
What.
I reckon he wouldn't
I'm
have
with
shook
you.
some people's hands.
Oh, yeah.
He
He's one of
hates
those ones
people.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
But if
yeah.
you're,
He wants to win.
yeah, he's
He's a bloke that the Titans
he's got
could
some
use.
grunt in him.
He is, and we've just heard this is what we're sort of discussing.
Titans have signed him.
The Tigers have said you're free to find a club for
Negotiate with
2020.
rival clubs.
Yeah.
Brisbane, we could use him.
Whew, couldn't they?
Yeah.
Manly
That's a
could
good
have
fit
him.
up there.
Manly could probably have
Manly
him.
could use him.
No, that
Cade Cuss.
Cade Hust has been going
That was
right.
That was a try that he scored on the weekend, and the
Well,
bunker
the
bloody
Bunker,
rejected him.
Yeah,
Can we go into a bit of bunker next week?
yeah. Okay.
What's going on with the bunker in the AFL?
The AFL's doing a bunker.
They're doing a bunker.
Yep, they're going to
Have
soft.
they learnt? Well, yeah. Okay.
We'll just go into it
Okay.
because we were going to save it for next week, but we won't. The AFL is bringing a bunker in for the final series
For the
this year, and they're
final?
going to soft launch it in round 23. So
Has anything been the catalyst for this?
the score review in AFL is horrific.
What's the score review?
So
They can do an almost bunker type thing, can't they?
yeah, definitely. Like they've got
To see whether it goes between the posts?
yeah,
or-
if it touches
the
post or
touches
someone's hands. What about the other week? They didn't call. They thought so the goal umpire was right behind the ball, and he said the ball didn't touch the post. But then they went to the review, and they pulled the snicko out,
Mm.
and the snicko went off. So they said it was a thing, but then they slowed it down, and the snicko actually goes off about half a second before the ball gets near the post. Then they pull out the wider angle. A player ran into the other post. So they're actually looking at the snicko on the wrong post.
Got him.
Yeah.
Wow, well, they
It's
don't have long
ridiculous.
to sort that out before
No,
the finals.
no. So
They're
they'll,
not giving
no,
themselves
in the
much
AFL,
time.
they'll pour millions of dollars into something that we'll have to stick with for the next 2 years. But hey, if you guys were setting up the AFL bunkers, give us a tip.
Well, the NRL could tell them what not to do.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's been bad, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been bad. There's been some really it's almost something like that where they're just so focused on here they can't see the forest through the trees type thing. Like
Yeah.
there was one of those ones, I think it was the Warriors who were so worried. Oh, does he get that down? Is there pressure? Is it in? Is it in? His other leg was out
Yeah,
and
they
touching
did.
the ground, and no one was looking at it. Same
Yeah.
thing happened again on the weekend. I think it was a Fergo try against the Tigers.
There's a heap of
There's
there's
so
been
many
some
of them.
bad
You could
decisions.
write a
but
library.
they slow it down too much and tries that have been tries for 100 years
Yeah.
and no longer tries.
Mm.
Because they slow it down too much and they look too much into it, and there's a little bit of separation or something like that. But if you ask the bloke, like, that's a try. Like, I don't know. I don't know how many tries that I've scored.
Would
in my
you
day.
would you
Not many.
endeavour and try and improve the bunker, or would you just scrap it, BJ?
We have to have a bunker. We have to have not a bunker, but we have to have a video referee. But I just think that they should watch things 90% of the time in 100% full motion.
Yeah, there should be. Oh, yeah, I'm with you. I think there should be some parameters around it. You've got 30 seconds. It is democracy in there too. So there's 3 people in there, and it's 2 votes yes, or 2 votes no, whatever. However it comes out, majority rules. But yeah, I think that they need to build something in there about it, so we're not up there for 3 minutes, and maybe it's speed or full time, or maybe now we're looking at the grounding. You get one look at the grounding. You're looking at we're looking at, did they go out? And you're just focusing on that. Did they go out? And it's just, you get one play.
But that's the part that I don't think is fair, that you actually get more angles to look at to see if this wasn't a try because you're at that stadium. Because Channel 9 has more, or Fox Sports has more cameras at that stadium that you're allowed to use. And what about like a VAR setup, like the EPL and the NFL? Have you seen in the NFL? They run off and they go hop in a little booth.
Similar to the
Yeah.
It slows the game down too much, I reckon send it up
Compared
as
to what? Watching 3 blokes from a camera up here.
Yeah, that's. You can see in the NFL that it slows the game down because they have to run over.
The NFL's different. Yeah, but like, what about EPL? Is it the NFL's different because they have
They
40 minutes of
slow
gameplay and they
everything
take
down.
3.5 hours to play it? What about in the EPL? Like, that's a fast-moving 90-minute game.
Yeah, the EPL seem to make their decisions very quickly, and the referee makes the decision.
That's what I
after
mean.
watching.
I like that.
Yeah, I don't mind that either.
That's
Maybe
not
the
bad.
referee should run over.
Sponsorship deal for like Apple. He pulls out like an
iPad.
and he like looks at it. Try.
That's dumb. He just gets text the footage.
Yeah,
This is what I reckon.
Yeah.
Sends it up.
Your
try.
pen just broke.
No
You're that
try.
excited.
There's a broken pen. Try. No try. One look at it.
I think
Confirm. Oh.
And then no one's allowed to play it ever again because then
that's
everyone
the
just do
whole
it to
point of
death.
it, isn't it?
Everyone will just do
Media
it to
just
death
replay. Oh, they missed this. They made a mistake.
Yeah.
What
I really
about-
don't know. But what if they set up all these grids, like this computer thing, and it's like,
Oh,
well,
like
they
a
went
laser
out. Yeah, laser
section.
system.
I don't know. I
don't
think
know. Too
I think the
technological.
AFL is going down the wrong path here. They need to literally just review goal line and just have 2 cameras from the top looking down, and
Just
that's
go
it.
back. Just go
Yeah,
back. in time.
that's
People
well.
can put up with
You know
an
what though?
error
But that's what they used to
from the
have.
ref.
So I agree. Go back to what they used to have because I reckon that's a better system in the AFL.
Well, do
Anyway,
it.
hey, we got to do a clam bet. Clam bet. Clam bet. Clam bet. Clam bet.
Yeah,
Clam bet.
yeah,
Clam
yeah.
bet. Clam bet. Which is
Clam
our
bet.
favourite part of the
I was off.
show.
I waited till
You
the
were never in
17th
it.
I waited till the 17th count.
You
Isn't
don't
that
want to
what
be
you-
in this team, I reckon. Do you want to start us off, Blake? You got us something from racing?
Yeah, I've got something from racing. Hey, did you see smiling Stephen Baxter on Ninja Warrior?
I love Ninja Warrior.
You love Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, I don't watch
I
it,
like
but I
Ninja
used to
Warrior
love the.
too.
I used to
Oh,
watch the
we didn't
American
watch it
one on
last
YouTube.
night.
We should
What-
go on
how did he
it.
go?
No, we
He
shouldn't
went,
go.
he
on
went
it.
all right.
Anyone that doesn't know who he is, quick,
He's a jockey. He's won Oakses and
smiling
group-
Stevie Bester.
plenty of Group 1 races in
He
Melbourne.
didn't make the final, unfortunately. I think
No, but he
just got dropped out.
Yeah, he got pretty far though. He got past that jump from side to side, that one at the start.
That's the
where,
first one.
first
Everyone
one?
gets past.
and he got
That's a
past
given.
the where he like winds up.
That's
you know
the
that one?
second last one.
He got past that.
Third last one. Did he? Because a lot of people finished last night,
He got
actually.
pa-
5 of them got up the wall.
The one
5
he
of them got
got-
up the mega wall.
The one he got knocked out on was he jumped up and he had to swing.
Oh,
like this,
yeah, that's the
and
second
then he
last
Oh,
had
one.
to
yeah, that's
jump
hard.
over and grab the
Yeah,
next
yeah,
one, and
yeah.
then he fell off.
Yeah.
But he
They're wide. So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
his
For a
arms.
little fella.
he actually got there, but he just didn't have.
What's with this wall? Like, no one ever made the wall, and now they've got this bigger wall, and everyone
Yeah, you
makes
get
it.
5K if you do the big wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
And there's
watching
the
this
normal
dude
wall as
called
well.
Big, bald-headed bloke, and he just, like,
Reached up.
just absolutely brained it.
I
I'd
reckon
take
Smiling
money.
Steve would not have got up that wall.
Nah, that'd be
no,
tough.
no.
That would
Like,
have been-
if I'm standing in front of that wall, I've got to take the small wall for
What's
sure.
going on with your pen?
It's busted.
It's bits of pen everywhere.
It's busted
You
like my
exploded.
tips was today.
All right, well, give us a
It's not,
friggin'
it's
winner.
not that bad.
Yeah, they were not
It still
good.
works. Oh, okay, yeah, I can have a bad day, can't I?
Yeah, we were just waiting for a good day.
Okay. Saturday.
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 Future.
All right, what do you got
Future's
for us
bright.
in Saturday for the clam bet?
Clam
Are you
bet.
going footy or you going racing?
I'm going racing.
Okay.
We're going Randwick, race 5, number 1, Mask of Time, Huey Bowman in the saddle. Go forward. We'll go it a place. Please,
Place?
at $2.15.
Okay, 2:15.
$2.15, Mask of Time, the place.
All right, well, I'm going the caretaker coaches in the AFL have done quite well after the head coach has been sacked.
Yeah, there's the bounce back effect.
I'm going sort of with the bounce back effect. I'm going to take St Kilda plus 15.5 against the Western Bulldogs at $1.90.
That's all right. The Western Bulldogs.
Oh,
They're
it's
not
all
much
right, mate.
good. They're
No, they're
not
good.
even
They're good
in
at the
8,
moment.
are they?
No, they're playing good at the moment.
They're playing all right, are they?
Yeah, don't look into that tip too hard. I'm just literally going off the back that usually the bounce back
No,
effect
I like that.
gives
I
it.
like that.
Yeah.
It's mentality.
Yeah.
Boggy.
Boggy.
I'm doing something I don't normally do. I'm putting my Panthers in the clam bet.
Panthers.
Yuck.
Yeah. Against the Dragons. Dragons had an ordinary week last week. Panthers are a 6 on the trot.
You're going opposite bounce back. You're going ordinary week, 6 on the trot. I'll go with the 6
I'm
on
on the
trot.
roll. $1.62 Panthers. Straight out win.
$1.62. Right, what price we got?
All right, so Peter, was yours a place?
Yeah, mine's a place.
Cool.
$2.15, $1.90, $1.62 gives us $6.62.
62 cents. Good luck.
5,000 clams.
No, we got to just
Where
get
are you
back
getting
to...
them from? It's a big day at the beach.
We got to get back to
You can
200
just borrow
clams.
clams.
Yeah, you can borrow clams.
But we're going to debt on the clams.
Well, hold on.
From Poseidon.
I think we're only at, like, we're still
We're
only
killing it.
we'd only be up 600 or 800 clams.
Yeah, so we can have 500 clams on this.
You want 500 on this?
500.
Let's go 250.
250 clams.
250 clams.
Okay with that, Boogie? Boogie's okay with that.
Bogey does not care.
We'll be back next week.
I did
with
a nod.
We will be back next week with our 21st.
1,500 clams or so. Is that right?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, maths.
Whiz. Go maths. So, thank you, fellas. Episode 20, done and dusted. Let's get straight into the bet slip. Listen to the bet slip. Give us your feedback. We got some great tips coming up for you.
Rate and review the
Rate and
podcast
review.
punters.
All right. Bye.
Please.
That's it.
Later.
Bye.